Part 2, Sally Ann. Well, she hid her porkers in hollow logs, but the gators stole the logs and the hogs. They'll be snatching up Little Hardstone next, fretted Sally Ann. Late the next night, a gang of bull alligators surrounded the Crockett's farmhouse. Sally Ann awoke to a tremendous racket. Ceiling plaster was falling, and plates were leaping from their shelves. To Sally Ann's dismay, the hooligan reptiles swarmed onto her roof to play King of the Mountain. Chimneys toppled, windows shattered, and shingles scattered as the game got underway. Sally Ann tried to stop the alligators with a lightning flash grin, but it had no effect. She blasted them with an ear-splitting scream. "Get off of my roof!" she hollered, but the alligators ignored her. Finally, Sally Ann flung herself into the King of the Mountain competition with such an energy that she kicked up a whole tornado. In a few seconds, all the alligators had been blown away, and Sally Ann, Thunder Ann, Whirlwind Crockett stood alone as Queen of the Mountain. For the next few days, it rained alligators from Minnesota all the way to New Orleans. When Davy Crockett returned from Congress, he was so proud of Sally Ann's heroic feat that he just couldn't stop bragging. He even interrupted a wrestling match to tell the story to his friend Mike Fink. Now, Mike Fink was a keelboat captain as well as a champion wrestler, and he had tangled with alligators up and down the Mississippi, and he couldn't believe that anyone had trounced a whole tribe of those critters at once. So Mike had his crew stitch him into an alligator hide, and then he set out to scare Sally Ann into confessing that her husband's Queen of the Mountain story was a bald-faced lie. Look, there he is getting into his costume. Mike crept up behind Sally Ann and Little Hardstone. "The King of the Mountain has arrived!" he roared. But Sally Ann whipped that alligator hide around so fast that the stitches popped and Mike Fink was propelled skyward. Folks knew that every strong man in the whole Mississippi Valley who wrestled the mighty Mike Fink found himself thrown flat, so they were amazed to hear that Mike had been flung 5 miles upriver by Sally Ann, Thunder Ann, Whirlwind Crockett. The end. And look, here's the Great Alligator Tornado. It's actually tornado, but people in that area, we say tornado. So that was Sally Ann, Thunder Ann, Whirlwind Crockett, retold by Stephen Kellogg. So that's an example. How many, did you hear all the hyperbolic parts in there? Really? That she could do something so fast she stirs up a whole tornado? Hyperbole. There were a lot of good similes in here too. It was like a blast of buckshot, right? You can write boring in a boring way. You could say, "It was loud." It was, or if somebody's big, you could say, "It was big. He was so big. He was big," right? But if you keep writing that same stuff over and over and over and over, nobody is going to want to read those kind of stories. Nobody. They're boring, right? They're boring. Think of Harry Potter, right? She explained Harry Potter's friend Hagrid so well, you didn't even, now that the movies have come out, we know what Hagrid looks like, right? But before that, J.K. Rowling was so good with her explanations and her figurative language that kids all over the world could picture what Hagrid looked like in their mind. His hands were as big as trash can lids. Now, she could have said, his hands were big. They were so big, they were really big. Boring. So, we talked a little bit today about figurative language and The kind of we talked about hyperbole. So now, the next section, you're going to see a couple of small videos about hyperbole. Y'all take care. Love you guys. We still miss you. Burns is really vacant without you. But be careful, be safe, and wear your mask. And wash your hands.